All right, hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, let me give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kwadash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule exceptionally well, continually feeding the flock 100% truth and doing that free of charge. Man, that's a great deal in the times that we're in, because more and more individuals who setting themselves up as leaders are not pushing the word with 100% truth. And even more so than that, they're not doing it free of charge. Okay. I want to say shalom, citations, mercy, and blessings to all the sincere brothers that's out there that push this word with truth and with faith. Shalom unto you. My name is Tabawa Amath of Great Millstone Northwest. I'm coming back with another message. I'm hoping that the message itself is received. And if the Heavenly Father allows it, I pray that there's some edification that comes from this. And Salaki, I kind of just had a thought and went ahead and pressed record. And I didn't really jot down too many scriptures. Okay, so bear with me as we maneuver through this one. And as I said, hopefully this one won't be too long. It won't take up too much of your time. But the thought that I had is that there's no excuses that's going to be available for you to give on why you didn't do the right thing, why you didn't push the word properly, why you chose the flesh over the spirit. There's really no excuses, man. And you shouldn't be looking for excuses, because the Heavenly Father is not going to accept any excuse on why it was that you couldn't do this or do that. Okay. Now, granted, we are unable to live righteous, and we continually sin and go off, and we're moving hopefully with grace and with the Lord's mercy in our day-to-day walk. However, there's still certain things that you are fully in control of. And for those things, there's not going to be any excuse for you. You have to remember, to him that know to do good and do it that not, to him it is sin, right? That's in the book of, I believe that's written about in the book of James, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Salakia. Is it James 4? It might be James 4. Yep, James chapter 4, verse 17. It says, therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Okay. So if you don't do the right thing, when you know to do it, to you, it's going to be counted as sin. It won't be counted as something that deserves the grace or even the mercy. Now, if the Heavenly Father still decides to have mercy on you, that's, according to the wishes of the Heavenly Father, which we all pray that the Lord has mercy upon us for the wrongs that we do, even if we did it, knowing that we was doing something wrong or not knowing. We do pray that the Lord has mercy upon us, okay? Because we know that the Lord said that he has an expected end that he wants to give to us. I'm sorry, Salaki, I gotta go through my usuals, all right, because they keep me on point. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 says, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Okay, so the Lord has an expected end that he wants to give unto us. But if you're someone that's trying to make an excuse on why you're not properly serving the Lord, or why you're not doing the right thing when you know to do it, then these scriptures will not apply to you for your betterment, and they will be against you, since you are deciding to do things that are against the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So let me grab a couple of scriptures that show that excuses with the Heavenly Father is not going to work. And as I said, hopefully this will be edifying. Let me see. Let's start with the example. We had just watched a video for class, and we went over this in Luke chapter 14. Based off of the video that we was watching, that went over this, Luke chapter 14. I think it's around verse 15, I want to say, is where it starts. Let's read this. And when one of them sat at meat with him, heard these sayings, he said unto him, blessed is he that shall eat bread in the kingdom of the Heavenly Father. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper, and bade many, and sent his servants at supper time to say to them that were bidden, Come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go see it. I pray thee have me excused. Let's look up this word for excuse and the word for excused. See if they're the same word first and foremost, and then we'll move through. All right. So excuse, we got this word, Strong's 3868, and let's see what this other one was. Same word, 3868. Okay. So let's look up this Strong's G 3868. Oh man, I don't know. Let me see. Let's retry that because I don't know if it played for the recording or not.
Strong's G 3868. Parateamai. Parateamai.
Parateamai. Okay. It says in the outline of biblical usages, it says to ask alongside, beg to have, near one, to obtain by entreaty, to beg from, to ask for, supplicate, to avert by entreaty or seek, to avert, to deprecate, to entreat that not, to refuse, to decline, to shun, avoid, to avert displeasure by entreaty, to beg pardon, crave indulgence, to excuse, of one excusing himself for not accepting a wedding invitation to a feast. In the Strong's definition, it says to deprecate, to decline, to shun, avoid, make excuse, entreat, refuse, and reject. All right, let's do this here. Let's go and let's look in the Merriam-Webster. Okay, maybe later. All right, let's look in the Merriam-Webster and let's see what they have. Here we go. Excuse. See what they have here. It says excuse. It says to make apology for, to try to remove blame from, to forgive entirely or disregard as a trivial import, regard as, to grant exemption or release to allow to leave, to serve as excuse for, something offered as justification or as grounds for being excused, excuse, plural, an expression of regret for failure to do something, a note of explanation of an absence. So that's what the Merriam-Webster has for the word excuse. Let's do one more thing before I give all my input. Let's come and look at the etymology of the word excuse. Okay. Excuse, attempt to clear someone from blame, find excuse for. All right, from the mid 13th century, it says, find excuse for, from Old French excuser, apologize, make excuse, pardon, exonerate. All right, excuse, apologize, make an excuse for, plead as an excuse, make an excuse for, plead as an excuse, release from a charge, decline, refuse, excuse the refusal of, okay, excuse, out, away, all right, from X, out or away, in accusa, accusation, legal action, all right, sense of forgive, pardon, accept another's plea of excuse from early 14th century, meaning to obtain exemption or release from an obligation or duty, beg to be excused, is from mid 14th century. In English, it is as in the same sense, defend someone or excuse or something as right, sense of serve as justification for, is from the 1530s. Excused, excuse me as a mild apology or statement of polite disagreement. All right, excuse, pretext, justification, for apologize, make excuse. the sense of that which serves as a reason for being excused, is recorded from the mid 15th century as a noun. Excusion is from an earlier form in the mid 14th century. So pretty much excuse, from these sources that we just read, from the etymology of it, the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and then also the Greek word that is used for it, it's pretty much to beg pardon, or to refuse the invitation that was given, when we read here in Luke 14 verse 18, when he's saying, I pray thee have me excused. He's trying to say, allow me to not come and perform the duty. I believe one of the things that we read said something of getting away from performing your duty, being released from having to perform your duty, which the duty that we have been called to is to be proper servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to spread this word, to go out there, do the work, to live to the best of your ability, according to the law, statutes, and commandments, all right, to properly represent yourself as an ambassador of Yahweh Shai. This is what we have been called to do. When it's speaking about being called to the marriage, that marriage is the kingdom of heaven. And there's plenty of individuals that's out there that is making excuse on why they can't do the right thing, why they can't feed the flock with 100% truth and to do it free of charge, why they can't get right. There's plenty of excuses that is out there. And there's not too many people that are batting those excuses away and saying, I'm going to do what's required of me in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? So this parable is very representative of Israel and how Israel is right now. You got many people, many individuals that have an excuse on why they can't do the right thing, or why they won't do the right thing, and not a lot of people that's just taking responsibility and owning up to, okay, yeah, I've been doing this wrong, let me correct it and do what's right. Okay, it says, let me read this again. Let's start at verse 17. Luke chapter 14 verse 17. And sent his servants at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and must need to see it. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and showed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to the servant, go out quickly into the streets and the lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maimed, and the halt and the blind. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and the hedges, and compel them to come, that my house may be filled. And this is what the Lord is. The Lord wants his house filled. Okay, and if you who was bidden, the Israelites, if you who was bidden, if you don't take up your seat's going to be filled by another one. And a lot of people think that they got a lot of time on their hands as far as getting right with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And realistically, we don't have any time at all. Okay, we don't have any time at all. You should have been getting right yesterday. Okay, a lot of people are going to try to turn to the Lord once the peril is already upon them, once the trouble is already at more than at their door, breaching the door, the pathway, coming to them through the room. That's when they're going to try to get right with the Lord, and that's going to be way too late, man. Okay, that's going to be way too late. It's once the MOTB is already pressed forward, it's too late to try to hip yourself to combat that. Okay, once the famine of the word is out, it's too late to try to get down with the scriptures. Okay, you can't come to the end of the end of the movie and think you got all the details of how the movie unfolded and how it came to what it is. All right, you're not really going to understand. You can watch it, but you're not really going to understand who this character is, why it's such a big deal that this character is the one that's dying, or that character is the one that's now rising up, through the ranks, or you missed the whole story. And once the story's at its end, don't come trying to ask questions about it now. You should have paid attention in the midst of the movie, right? Okay, so it's the same thing. Look, if you are not doing the things that you're supposed to do because you're making an excuse for yourself, well then you're gonna get caught out there, man. You're gonna burn. You're gonna suffer the reward of the wicked. All right. Even if you desire the reward of the righteous, if you're not doing the works of the righteous, then you're not gonna get the reward of the righteous, man. Okay, you can desire a paycheck, but if you ain't take your butt to work the past week or the past 2 weeks, then you ain't gonna get no paycheck, man. It's as easy and as simple as that. Okay. It says, for I say unto you that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper. So if you were bidden, you heard this word, you knew, you was able to understand certain aspects of this, and you knew that it was upon you to go ahead and gird up your loins and turn your life over to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and to live properly as an Israelite, and to be an example for others to do so also. And you chose to ignore that because you had some excuse, whether it was your family, your home life, your work life, your the possessions you had, whatever it may have been, your money, your whatever it may have been, oh, my health, I can't do it. Oh, I'm too young for this. I'm too old for this. All right. Hey, age don't matter in the sight of the Lord. All right. If you had an excuse and that excuse stopped you from actually walking this walk, well, then don't expect to receive the reward that the prophets, the men that's laboring and putting in time, don't expect to receive the reward that they're going to get, man. Okay. You just been living wickedly this whole time. Oh yeah, I understand you Israelites. I watch your videos, but I'm gonna still smoke my weed though. I'm gonna still, be Mr. Jones. You know what I'm saying? Or Mrs. Jones. I'm gonna still go get down with Mrs. Jones because me and Miss Jones got a thing going on. Or however you know the song I'm trying to reference, but I can't really remember how it goes right now. But if you still I'm just going, yeah, man. I see you Israelites. I'm down with y'all, but man, hey, my cousin's roasting a pork, a pig. They roasting a pig, man. They invited me, and I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, I gotta get down because, I love my porks. You know, you individuals that's like that, which there is a lot of individuals that's out there that's like that. You individuals don't realize that you're gonna still receive the reward of the wicked because you're not actually putting in any type of effort to show that you actually care about Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. All right. Now, is some people going to wake up and come through this thing all the way at the last end? Yeah, of course. But those ones are not going to be the same. That's not the same people that had opportunity and for years been putting it off, or for months been putting it off. When they felt it within themselves, like, man, I should be more active in doing that. But whatever the thing of this world was able to pull them out or to keep them from doing it. Those excuses ain't gonna work, man. All right. I have mentioned age, and it makes me think of the book of Jeremiah. I'm gonna close this out here in a second too. This is Jeremiah, the first chapter, right? Starting at verse 4. It says, then the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me saying, I'm sorry. Yeah, yep, right there. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. And then the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Lord, power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I commanded thee thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord Yahweh. Okay, so the same way Jeremiah didn't think that he was in a position to go forth and be a prophet, but behold, he's a prophet who's well renowned, all right, and was called beloved of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, so it's the same thing. Look, you may not feel as if you're prepared to actually get out there and go do something, but you got to have your trust and your faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man, and you got to lean on Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, start small and work at it, man. Nothing comes overnight. Everything you got to work at it a little bit here, a little bit there, but you got to be sincere and put in actual effort. All right. If you're out there and you like, man, this is going to be my first time going out there, and you got to go out there alone. Well, the first time you go out, it may not be very productive, but you got out there, man. Your second time may not, but you keep on going, and eventually you're going to find your groove. You're going to be able to go. There's plenty of brothers that had to go out there alone. All right? There's plenty of brothers that had to go out there alone. If you don't want to go out there alone, find a way to link up with a camp. Okay? There's no excuses that's going to be available when the Lord comes back. He's going to say, get away from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you, for some individuals, because they chose not to do the work. Even though, no, man, I've been watching every video since 2007. So you've been watching videos, but you ain't actually put your hand to the plow? That shows that you didn't truly believe in this thing the way you thought you believed in this thing, man. All right? You can't what's the word? You can't trick the Lord, man, for lack of better terms. You can't trick the Lord, okay? So there's not going to be any excuses. If Jeremiah couldn't use the excuse of being young, then what excuse do you have? Okay? If you can't use that excuse. Oh, I got my son, I got this going on, I got a new job, I got this house. None of that's going to be good as far as a excuse in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You either gotta go and you either gonna do it or you ain't gonna do it, man. Okay? Let me see. I think like I said, I didn't have too many scriptures even written down in the first place, man, and my mind isn't really coming up with anything else to kind of jump into. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it there, man. Hopefully this message was received. Okay, remember who the fuck you are. We're the Israelites. We're Yasharallah, the Princes of Power, and it's time for us to turn back on to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem Kakwadash and to serve them properly. All right, with all faith and sincerity, man. Until next time, I'm gonna say shalom.